And let's get straight to this shutdown. Senator Lindsey Graham tweeting yesterday, I wish our political leaders could find the same desire to work for common goals as those who serve our nation in uniform in other capacities. Joining us now, Lara Trump, Trump 2020 senior advisor. Lara, all right, well, 28 days into this shutdown, and obviously it's personal. It's gotten very personal, even more so between President Trump and Nancy Pelosi. And people are taking shots at both of them like this is not necessarily an adult way to find a solution.
Yes, well, I will say the first shot was taken by Nancy Pelosi disinviting the president to give the State of the Union address, which was absolutely crazy, in my opinion. I mean, we've never seen something like that happen. The good news is that the president doesn't need to give it in front of Nancy and her colleagues. He can give the State of the Union anywhere he wants, and I'm sure he will do something to that effect. But I actually thought what he said was very appropriate. First of all, the letter was written beautifully, and I thought what he did was actually incredibly appropriate. Why is Nancy Pelosi and why are our congressional leaders flying all overseas right now in the midst of a shutdown, wasting, all this taxpayer money for no good reason?
It does feel like, I mean, you had the trip to Hawaii, you had the trip to Puerto Rico, but, they get a free pass from the media. So just at this point, though, it feels like there are some Democrats, though, who believe that she did overplay her hand with the State of the Union, that's something. Listen, if the Secret Service, if police or law enforcement believe there's an issue, they will say to the White House, don't do this. She's not our national, she's not in charge of the Secret Service. So it's so purely political, and that might start to backfire on her, this kind of stuff.
Well, I think you're seeing that happen already. You're seeing some Democrats coming out and saying, wait a minute, I did not sign up for this Democrat Party. Don't lump me in with all these people, because I think they're understanding that the American public is sick and tired of all these antics. And for Nancy Pelosi to do what she did with the State of the Union was very bold and very uncalled for, in my opinion. The fact that many of these Democrats are not even coming to sit down with the president when he invites them to the White House to negotiate, to find an end to this, I think they're seeing that and they're saying, wait a minute, don't put us in that camp.
Apparently, the strategy is to keep this going for long enough that it starts to impact or influence GOP Republican senators. And that's where the break will come, that at some point you'll have the Senate go to President Trump, Republicans, and say, you've got to end this now. Do you think it will come to that?
You know what? I don't think so. I think Republicans and really the American public in general understands why the president is so strong on this. The reality is this is about way more than a wall. This is about the future of our country. We cannot sustain illegal immigration in this country. At some point, it will be the downfall of our country. In countries with open borders, you see it happen all the time. I think the president knows, and he has been very strong on this because this is possibly the last chance we have to address this. Meanwhile, all the Democrats opposing it were all for it a couple of years ago when we had a different president.
That's the hypocrisy of it. So many well-known, big-name Democrats have voted for physical barriers, physical support on our southern border. So ultimately, as these images of furloughed government workers going to food banks, saying, listen, I'm having trouble paying my bills, the media is going to have that, and they're going to play it every single day. And the longer this goes on, that's immense pressure on President Trump. Could that make him blink?
It's funny because, listen, first of all, I will say, we all feel so much for these workers who are not getting paid. That's not fair. It's not right. They don't deserve this. But it's crazy, Charles, because the number of people who are government workers who have not gotten paid, who don't know when they're going to get paid again, they have come up to me. They've come up to my husband and they've said, tell the president to stay strong. We get what this is about.
Which is not unlike what farmers have done also.
Yes, it's a little sacrifice.
President Trump speak to the farmers and they love them.
Right, and it's for the long game. And I think so many people see that. And you're right, the media is going to use that all day long and they're going to do everything they can to exploit that. But what they're not going to do, and maybe what Republicans should consider doing in the same token, is bring out the families, bring out these angel families, families of loved ones who are never coming back, who have been murdered by illegal immigrants. And maybe that's the counter. I don't know. But you're right. They are going to exploit that.
Compromise. President Trump has said he's willing to compromise. So it sounds like there's some room on the 5.7 number. Do you have an idea of how low he could potentially go? Or could we even go the other way? Could this actually be an opportunity for a grand bargain? Hey, why not get all the immigration cards on the table and deal with it all once and for all, the loopholes
Yeah.
I mean, this is that kind of an opportunity.
It would be great. It would be so great to see that. Listen, he's the negotiator in chief. I leave him in charge of that. So I don't know what his bottom number is there, but it would be nice to solve all of this because, again, it is about so much more than a wall. It is really about a broken immigration system that is really detrimental to the future of our country. We have to address it. We have to fix it. And it's time. Let's get it done now.
Yeah.
Let's all come to the table.
Well, it's great meeting you in person for the first time. You're a relentless hard worker, and I don't think you got enough credit for your role you played in the election.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thanks,
Laura.